So I wasn't originally going to make a video about this. I wasn't going to make this video because I didn't even plan on watching the Scream 6 trailer. Let me explain. I am so insanely hyped for this film that it's scary. I haven't been this hyped for a movie since No Way Home. Hell, I might even be more hyped for this than I was for that movie. If you don't know, Scream is easily my favorite horror franchise of all time. And the first two installments are two of my favorite movies of all time. I love Scream, and I also kinda love Scream 5. Sure, it has its problems, and yeah, I might have gotten extremely high about a year ago and made a 16-minute long rant/review thingy about it, but I still really like this movie. I've seen it several times since it came out, and honestly I think I like it more every time. It's honestly my third favorite Scream movie. It's a goddamn good time. So naturally, I've been extremely hyped for this sixth film. I'm not entirely sure what to expect. Sydney's gone for the first time ever, and whilst I may not be as upset as everyone else, it's still going to be pretty weird to see a Scream movie without her in it. The studio better have paid her what she was owed. It reflects negatively on the franchise, and I don't want to have negative thoughts about my favorite movies. I think there's a slight chance that this movie won't be very great. Not that it's going to be bad or anything, but I think they're planning on doing a whole new trilogy, so there's a chance that this one will feel kind of like filler, if that makes sense. The old middle of the trilogy curse, recently seen in Spider-Man Far From Home and Halloween Kills. This movie also only took a year to make, and I mean, I guess that was the case with Scream 2 as well, but still. Who's to say lightning will strike twice? There's a slim chance that this movie could be really rushed. And on the other hand, I think this movie has potential to be the best installment since Scream 2. And that's high praise coming from me. In my opinion, the first two Scream movies set the standard for what a good Scream movie should be, hence why the last two sequels have tried so hard to be like the first two, and they both succeeded and failed in their own ways. But I think this one's really gonna make a difference. But I guess we should talk about why that is. Also, I just realized Scream 2 is like one of the only Scream movies I haven't made a video about yet. Huh. I guess I'll have to change that. So as far as the actual promotional material goes, it's really good. The two trailers they've released are vague enough to leave the audience wondering what happens. It tells you just enough to still leave you in the dark, and it doesn't really spoil anything, which has become a trend for trailers in the last few years. I can't tell you what this movie will be about just from watching these shots, but I can tell you, I'm fucking excited. The little information this trailer does give us, however, is enough to get me invested. This new Ghostface is like John Wick of slashers. Look how bad he fucks this dude up. God damn. The little we see of this guy already sets him up to be one of the best killers in the franchise. He literally calls himself different, which I think every Ghostface kinda does, but I don't know, maybe this time it will end different for him. Maybe he could be the franchise's first returning villain. Maybe instead of immediately killing him off at the end, he could return in the next movie for round 2, if you will. That would be cool, but it's not what I personally hope to be the case for this Ghostface killer. But we'll talk about that later. Let's just keep going with the trailer. We also learned that this new guy has a whole ass shrine to all the other Ghostface killers who came before. It's clear to me that this dude's probably studying the previous Ghostface killers, learning what they did well and what they did wrong. And it also kind of looks like this movie might take place over the course of one night, which is really interesting. We haven't seen anything like that before in the franchise, and I honestly think it would be a nice change of pace. We also get a glimpse of this movie's amazing cast in this trailer. I mean, just look, y'all. You get Jenna Ortega, you get fucking Tony Revolori, you get the dude from fucking Avatar, you get it. This is the strongest cast since the original, dog. I hope they're able to balance them all successfully. And I also hope we get more development for Chad and Mindy from Scream 5. They were enjoyable characters, but there really wasn't much to them besides the fact that they're related to Randy. So I hope the film doesn't just kill them off right away. Before I wrap this up, I gotta talk about my dumb little theory. That dumb theory being the reason I put quotations around the word new earlier. That's because I hope with all my heart that this new killer is actually an old one. That's right, folks, you've heard the theory before, and you either agree with it or you think it's absolutely stupid, but I fully believe that this is actually Stu Macher coming back. His death was never fully confirmed, and Matthew Lillard is open to the idea of returning. He says he imagines Stu as a really buffed up guy whose face is disfigured from the TV landing on it. And he comes back for revenge all these years later. I mean, look at his mask, that shit's ancient. I would really like to see that, but at the same time I feel like it wouldn't work without Sydney, because I feel like Stu would have a personal vendetta against her for what she did to him, but I don't know, I could be wrong. At least he'll be in FNAF or whatever. But regardless, I'm hyped for this movie. I've been hyped for so long, ever since I saw Scream 5 about a year ago. And if I'm wrong and this movie sucks, I'll eat my entire laptop. That's not true, I'll probably just delete my channel.